Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My wife and myself. For those who know me well, no, I'm not the biggest fan of public speaking. really not a big fan of public speaking. And my test subject is normally Camilla, who sits up late at night listening to my presentations and speeches. But because I didn't want her to hear the speech tonight, she just offered me some advice, which was, take your time, try not to be too funny, try not to be too witty, and pretty much just be yourself. The second bit of advice is actually from one of my groomsmen, thankfully, who said making a speech is like going to do a speech. It's only hard for the first couple of minutes. You can see some will party about it, some will party doing it. So with that being said, here we go. It's been little over 10 years since a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, slightly tipsy girl by the name of Camilla stumbled us to me on the dance floor in the group. Yeah. You would have thought 10 years on we'd be here today surrounded by friends and family. But before I get too carried away on my beautiful bride, I've got a few thank yous to do. First off, thank you to all of you who travelled here today. I know looking around, there are probably more migrants travelling out of America and Europe this week than into them. That's a good sign. We've got the deals from America, Luke, Lindsay, Freddie from Amsterdam, from various provinces. We've got Caroline from Dubai. Yeah. We even got a Mr. Devin Hopper from Pluttercliff. Dev, I just hope you weren't too many rocks on the road, or you didn't need too many gates open by Ty Lego on the way. Bachelor joke. To the bridesmaids, Mia, Camilla, P, we'll see now that I always get wrong. Jade, Philly, and G, who unfortunately can't be here tonight. I wrote this down, I wrote the speech like a month ago and wrote how amazing you look, but you really do look amazing. You can't plan, keeping Camilla calm, and to my jealousy, given a lot of amazing gifts as I look at my groomsmen and lead up to the wedding. I got a burger, that's... I don't think you know how much you all mean to Camilla, and you're always there to support her for all the years. Next, I would like to thank my groomsmen. Matt, from being stranded in a graveyard at 2 a.m, to shirt swapping in Hogs, to shoes in a Stellenbosch freezer, we've been through a lot. I know it hasn't been the greatest past few months for you, and understandably a lot of friends wouldn't be here today but in your situation. So being here is just a testament of the friend that you really are. I think the only thing stronger than your friendship is your left hook at a Synergy concert. Also, select people understand that. I never knew that an MC could take their job more seriously than you have. I honestly think, I wrote honestly, but I know for a fact you knew today's order of events better than I did. You told me where to be and when to be there today. But knowing you never take anything half-ass. You and Philly have been absolutely amazing this year and introducing us to amazing people in Joburg. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here tonight. Murray, mother, despite your clumsiness that has resulted in a few broken items over the years, including a circle table ornament in the Ferguson household. Don't worry, my friends still don't know about the chicken foot on the table.
Send the ball!
No, you did a great job. It hasn't broken off in 3 years. But Naz, you've been an amazing friend over the last few years, and you're always there for a good chat and when times are need. Brett, Despite not always attending some drinks when the CBD group called for it, you're always there to help and solve problems. You help push me in physical activities and been extremely gracious in coming second with quite a few runs. Kenny, Philippa, you're the best in-laws I've ever had. The two of you have truly been amazing over the last few years. I'll never forget meeting you in the entrance hall of your Claremont house to one of Camilla's birthday parties. And how inviting and kind you were, even when I told Kenny I wasn't studying to be a CA. I will admit I thought there were a few times Kenny had it out to get me. This includes asking me to jump into the Kumiki pool in the middle of July to scrub the algae off. To make sure I didn't carry on floating to the top of the pool, he opted to stand and hold me under. Without any witnesses around, I politely declined. Or to the time when we were in Sri Lanka and we were going down a hill, what can only be described as Solari's Pass on steroids, and our taxi brake failed, smoke everywhere, so that I pulled it off, everyone left the taxi in panic. And Kenny comes up to me and he's like, would you mind just taking the taxi a bit further down to get out? Also, seeing I didn't want to fall off the cliff, I also politely declined. But on a serious note, Kenny and Philippa, you have raised a kind, hard-working, and sometimes very stubborn young woman that will achieve great things in life. Thank you for taking me into your family. From all the family holidays you've taken me on, to general life advice you give myself and Camilla, we appreciate it all. Mia, I haven't just gained a wife today, I've also gained another sister. I've watched you grow up and achieve great things following your dad's footsteps to be a CA. One thing I'm extremely happy about, you finally dating someone I can have a beer with and talk about hockey. Despite your lack of direction, you need a bit of, Mom, Dad, I know every groomsman says this in their speech, but you're truly the best parents anyone could ask for. Dad, I remember thinking to myself when I was small that I wanted to be exactly like you when I grow up. And while this is still true in many aspects, I just want to keep a bit of pep. You were a friend when I needed a friend and guided me when I needed guidance. I know that if I have children one day, if I can be half the dad you have been to me, I'll still do a great job. Mom, you are incredible. I really didn't know where to start when I started writing this part on you. But from listening to my terrible reading in the kitchen while making dinner while I was in junior school, to the countless early mornings of dropping me off at swimming, rugby and gym, you've been the beam of light in my most down moments and always there celebrating my achievements. Your unconditional love and support is incomparable. You're selfless and always put your family first. Thank you, Dad, for everything. Camilla, you look well, before I get to when I carry on doing my Camilla, I just want to thank I'm going on the script, but this whole day has been Camilla's doing. I didn't even pick the table ornaments. All I did was convince her we needed a wedding planner and form of Lauren, who's also been absolutely amazing. Absolutely scary at times, but actually I had to give this a bit of thought when we first met. Don't worry, but it got my mind back to Stellenbosch 2013, 14 Federvator. And when we first met each other, we had no interest in each other whatsoever. I was hooking up with a third-year varsity student despite being first year. First team hockey as well. Not me, no. And Camilla was also hooking up with someone that I don't know if I'm allowed to name. So our Digs hosted a little get-together pre-match before we went out. I don't remember too much about the night, just Camilla turning into a very loud woo girl. So after we got back from the night out, I thought it would be a really good idea to prank one of my roommates. At Digs Classic, you hide in someone's cupboard, and as they enter, you jump out and scare them, very sure. What I didn't realize is that Paul had offered his room to be a sort of a substation for the UCT students who came up, and offered his bedroom to them. So about 15 minutes after standing in the cupboard, I hear the door open, I think it was for Hooker, and it wasn't for Hooker, it was Camilla. Screaming, and I just saw Camilla running down the hall. Fast forward 10 years, and here we are. Oh, sorry, I'm filling in here. It was only a few months later, after our friend Matt invited me to a pre-match, that we first got together in Tenerife. When Camilla bought me a Steers burger after the night out, I knew she was a keeper. Fast forward 10 years, and here we are. Two people that are completely opposite in so many ways, but so similar in so many other ways. It's been a journey filled with ups and downs, but the ups certainly do outweigh the downs. And in the bigger scheme, our journey's just beginning, and I can't wait to start it with you, especially in our Hilux and Ford Ranger. There are so many reasons I've fallen in love with you over the years. Your endless hard work in any situation, no matter how big the challenge is, you always seem to conquer it. The kindness you show other people, except ESCOM this morning, you genuinely care about people around you and always are willing to offer your help. With the drive you have, anything you set your mind to, you will achieve, and don't give up. These are only a few reasons that I fall in love with you, and you're an incredible person. I can't wait to start our life together, and getting your hand in marriage is one of the best gifts I've ever got. A gift that I'm looking forward to unwrapping later tonight. I'm glad more people got that joke. People make all kinds of promises during speeches like these. I can't promise we won't fight. I can't promise we won't argue. I can't, or that you won't want to throw a shirt at me. Or that we won't want to go Oscar Pistorius on one another from time to time. But I can promise you that I will always love you. I just want to mention, oh sorry, that's also another sub-note. I had a category here, which took me forever to pull on something thought-provoking, which was like one of y'all. And I debated whether I would put this quote in, but like considering today, I think it's quite just hear it out, I'll explain later. No one will bring back the years. No one will restore you to yourself. Life will follow its path it began to take, and you'll neither reverse or check its course. It will cause no commotion to remind you of its swiftness, but glide quietly along. It will not lengthen aside for a king's demand or a people's favor. As it started out, on its first day, it will run on, nowhere pausing or turning aside. So the reason I put this in, I think, especially in most of us our age, you get so caught up in the day-to-day life. And it's just a quote that I sort of reflected on, and just reminds you to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the journey. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm wrapping up. I don't have a drink, if I can borrow one. But I'd just like to make a final toast and say thank you all for being here tonight. We really do appreciate it. And thank you, Camilla, again for organising this whole event. I love you.